The notification arrives on a Tuesday. Not a Monday, not a Friday, a Tuesday. The most ordinary day of the week. You are standing in a parking lot outside a grocery store. 2 bags in one hand, keys in the other. The sun is doing nothing interesting. You look at the number. You look at it again. You sit in the car for 6 minutes without starting it. The number is real. The money is real. It is yours. Legitimately, permanently, actually yours. You have imagined this moment hundreds of times since you were 11 years old. In every version, you knew exactly what to do. You are sitting in a parking lot outside a grocery store and you have absolutely no idea what to do. That is where this story begins, and where most of them go wrong. The amount is not life-changing, but it is more money than you have ever seen arrive at once. A small inheritance from a relative you barely knew. A legal settlement. A bonus you didn't expect. A crypto position you forgot about. $6,000 sitting in your account. Real. The first thing you do is tell someone. This is the first mistake. Not because telling someone is wrong, because the person you tell immediately has an opinion about your money. Your friend suggests a trip. Your cousin mentions a business idea he has been developing for 3 years. Your mother says keep it. Your father says invest it. Your colleague says crypto. Everyone has a plan for your money. None of them have a plan for their own. You spend around $1,000 within the first 30 days. Not on one thing, on many small things. A phone upgrade you had been delaying. A dinner you paid for because you could. A jacket. A weekend. Small things that felt reasonable individually and did not feel reasonable when you added them. The money felt abstract. Accounts feel abstract. A number on a screen does not feel like money the way cash in your hand feels like money. So you spend it like it is abstract, like it will be replaced. It will not be replaced. By month 3, around $2,800 remains. You had a chance to build something. You built a memory of a weekend and a phone that will be outdated in 2 years. The first rule: sudden money does not come with sudden wisdom. It arrives in your account with the exact same financial instincts you had before it came. This amount has a name in your head. You call it the number that changes things. You have always believed that if you had this much, free and clear, things would change. It arrives. An inheritance, a property sale, a settlement from an accident that cost you 2 years of pain. Things change, but not the way you expected. The first change is invisible. People start treating you differently. Not dramatically, subtly. Your brother mentions the loan he needs. Your friend group finds more expensive restaurants comfortable now that you are present. Someone calls you lucky in a tone that carries something underneath. You notice that money, even a moderate amount of it, changes the temperature in every room you enter. You are not sure if you changed. You are sure the rooms did. You decide to invest it. This is the correct decision. You open a brokerage account. You read 3 articles. You put $14,000 into an index fund. You put $10,000 into stocks your colleague recommended. You keep $11,000 liquid. 6 months later, the stocks are down 24%. The fund is slightly up. The liquid money has quietly decreased after a car repair, a medical expense, and 2 months of lifestyle that outpaced your paycheck. You did everything approximately right. Approximately right with sudden money produces approximately average results, because the knowledge required to manage money is not downloaded with the money. The money arrives. The knowledge doesn't. What you needed before the money arrived was the architecture. What the account needed before the amount changed was structure, a goal, a plan, a container for each dollar with a specific purpose. You had the number. You did not have the architecture. The second rule: the amount of money is never the variable that determines the outcome. The architecture is. This is the level where relationships begin to restructure. Not break, not explode. Restructure, quietly. The way a building shifts during an earthquake before any cracks appear. The money arrives. A property inherited from grandparents. A business exit. A payout from a relative who worked abroad for 20 years and left you everything. $120,000. This number carries weight. It is the threshold number. The number people reference in sentences that begin with, "if I ever had." You have it. The first call you do not make is to your bank's standard savings account manager. You make it anyway. He puts it in a high-yield savings account. He does not mention that inflation is running higher. He does not mention that his bank makes more from your deposit than you will. You feel responsible. You feel safe. You are generating approximately zero real wealth. A financial advisor contacts you. You do not know how he knows. They always know. He presents a portfolio. Mutual funds, annuity products, a variable life insurance plan that combines insurance and investment in a way that benefits neither goal particularly well. His commission is substantial. It is not disclosed clearly. You sign. Year 1 ends. The life insurance product has costs embedded in the first 3 years that reduce your returns significantly. The equity funds have performed well. The fixed income portion is stable. Overall, you have done better than the savings account. You have also done worse than a simple index fund would have delivered at a fraction of the cost. The third rule. The moment you have money, a system activates to extract it. The system is not criminal. It is structural. Everyone in the system is doing their job. Their job and your goal are not the same thing. Meanwhile, something else has happened. Your brother did not get the loan. You said no carefully, with love, with explanation. He has not called since. Not because he is angry, because the conversation changed the temperature permanently. The money created a distance between you that $35,000 would not have created. This amount was large enough to be worth grieving. You did not expect this. Nobody tells you this part. You have $120,000. You also have a brother who finds reasons not to call. The cost of this level is not financial. You are no longer talking about money the way you used to talk about money. Before, money was a constraint, something you managed around, something that determined what was and wasn't possible. At $600,000, money becomes a decision, not a constraint, a decision. This shift is subtle and enormous simultaneously. You sold a piece of land your family held for 40 years, or a startup you spent 6 years building, or you received a legal settlement after a medical negligence case that cost your family more than money. The amount is here. It is real. The first thing you do correctly is nothing. For 30 days, you do nothing with the money. A wealth manager told you this. 30 days. Let the noise settle. Let the advice givers exhaust themselves. Then build. The noise is significant. Your extended family has a gathering. Not about your money directly. About something else entirely. But the gathering was scheduled 3 days after the money arrived. These things are connected in ways nobody acknowledges. You hire a fee-only financial advisor. Not commission-based. Fee-only. He has no product to sell you. He builds a structure. Emergency fund. $48,000. Liquid, untouched. Equity allocation. $300,000. Index funds. Long horizon. Fixed income. $144,000. Bonds. Stability. Real estate. 1 property. Not 5. 1. Reserve. $72,000. Opportunity fund. The structure is not exciting. It will never make a story anyone wants to hear at a dinner party. It will also, with high probability, make you financially independent within 12 years at a modest lifestyle. You follow it for 4 months. Then a friend presents a business opportunity. $96,000. Guaranteed returns of 18% annually. Real estate in a growing market. The documentation is clean. The friend is trustworthy. You think about it for 2 weeks. You say yes. Year 2, the project is delayed. Year 3, the developer has liquidity problems. Year 4, legal proceedings begin. The $96,000 is not gone. It is frozen, inaccessible, possibly recoverable in 3 to 5 years through courts. You followed the structure, except once. Once was enough. The fourth rule. At this level, the danger is not bad decisions. It is the single exception you make to a good plan because someone you trust made the ask personal. The number crossed a threshold somewhere between the last level and this one. You cannot identify exactly where. But at some point, money stopped being the thing you were trying to protect and became the thing that was protecting you. That is a different feeling. It is quieter than you expected, less triumphant, more like the absence of a sound you had been hearing for so long you forgot it was there. The $3 million came from a company you built, or inherited, or from a combination of assets that compounded over 20 years while you watched carefully and made no dramatic moves. You have a family office now, not a large one, a structure, 2 advisors, a CPA, a tax attorney, an investment mandate with clear rules. The investment mandate says, no single investment represents more than 8% of total capital. No illiquid position without a clear exit timeline. No investment made under social obligation. The social obligation clause was added after the 3rd time someone you respected asked for an exception. The clause exists because at this level, the primary threat to capital is not market volatility. It is relationships. The network of people who now define their own opportunity through your liquidity. You love some of these people. You have known some of them your entire life. You say no anyway. What this costs you is not easy to quantify. 3 friendships that became transactional so gradually you almost didn't notice. A family gathering where the silence between you and 2 cousins said everything that wasn't being said. Money at this level does not make you enemies. That would be simpler. It makes some of your oldest relationships into performances. Both sides showing up, neither side saying the actual thing. You notice this most at holidays, at weddings, at the table where everyone is laughing and you are laughing, and underneath the laughing, there is a calculation happening on both sides that nobody put there intentionally. You grieve this privately. This is something the money brought that you did not order. On a Wednesday morning, you receive a dividend payment. $17,000, deposited automatically, from a position that required no decision, no labor, no presence. You have a meeting at 11. You attend it, you move on. The 5th rule. Past a certain level, money stops requiring your effort. It requires only your structure. And what you discover is that the effort was also giving your life a shape. The shape you have now is different, larger, and in some rooms, very quiet. There is no good word for what you are now. Not rich. Rich is a word people use about a third party. Not wealthy. Wealthy still implies something personal. You are capitalized. That is the accurate term. You are a person with enough capital that the capital itself has become the primary actor in your financial life. You are its steward, its decision maker, its direction. You did not plan to arrive here. Nobody plans to arrive here. They plan toward the number below this one. And then the compounding continues, and the asset appreciates, and one morning the number is here, and the planning that felt ambitious in year 1 now looks conservative. You have a trust. Your children's names are in a document that will govern their financial lives after yours ends. You have thought about this document more than you have thought about most things. The wrong structure creates dependence, creates entitlement, creates people who never develop the architecture because the architecture was handed to them pre-built. The right structure creates opportunity without removing necessity, creates access without removing the requirement to grow something. You are trying to solve a problem that most of human history has never had to solve. How do you give your children everything without giving them nothing? You have meetings with attorneys about this. You have not resolved it. You travel differently now. Not more luxuriously than people expect, simply differently. Fewer commercial airports, more private arrangements. Not because of status, because of efficiency. Your time is the constrained resource now, not the money. You sit on 2 boards, not for the fee, for the information. The information is worth more than the fee by a factor of approximately 40. You no longer think about your net worth in absolute numbers. You think about it in terms of what it produces. The capital that produces $480,000 per year in passive income is more useful to you than the capital figure itself. The number on the screen is a mechanism. The mechanism produces decisions. You are not excited by the number. You were once, in the parking lot, on the Tuesday, with the 2 bags and the keys and the sun doing nothing interesting. You remember that feeling precisely. The 6 minutes in the car. The absolute certainty that everything was about to change. Everything did change. You are not sure, most Tuesdays, whether you are happier than the person sitting in the parking lot. You are more structured, more protected, more capable of absorbing events that would have destroyed the earlier version of you. But the earlier version of you had a particular quality. You do not know the precise word for it. It was something about not knowing what came next. Something about the money still being able to surprise you. It cannot surprise you now. You have structured away the surprise. The sixth rule. Every level of wealth solves the problem of the level below it, and introduces a problem the level below it could not have imagined. Somewhere right now, a notification is arriving. Someone is standing in an ordinary place, a parking lot, a kitchen, a bus, an office bathroom, somewhere completely unremarkable. They are looking at a number they did not expect. They are feeling something they have never felt before. They are about to make their first decision. That first decision will not be the one that determines the outcome. The outcome will be determined by what they know before the decision, what architecture already exists, what they understand about the difference between an amount and a structure, between a number and a plan. Most people arrive at sudden wealth the same way, with the same instincts they had before it arrived, with no instruction, with everyone they know suddenly full of opinions, and with a feeling of certainty, absolute, clean, powerful, that this time will be different, that this time they will do it right. Some of them will. Most of them will look at an account 2 years later and try to understand where the architecture went. The money was real. The plan was not ready. The notification arrives again. Different city, different person, different Tuesday, same parking lot, same 6 minutes, same feeling of everything being about to change. The money is patient. It does not care whether you were ready. It never does.